Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's the conclusion of Ready to Love Potomac Part 2. I give a full episode recap with photos offset to the side, and then I give my review at the end. No need to dig around. I keep all of the minute marks in the comments. It's all coming up next. We continue right where we left off with Vern and Precious weighing it out concerning who said what. Sabrina jumps in to confirm that Carmen called her to communicate the women were in a voting block when it came to the men. The block was Joy and Clifton, Ace, and Laverne. In order for everyone to have a chance, we need to break up the block, saying they need to vote Laverne out. Sabrina explains that Laverne was in her bottom since the beginning. She didn't need to take part of a blocking out voting session. Carmen says that she got receipts. She didn't call Sabrina. It was actually Precious who called her at 9 in the morning. Tommy notes that, just like my grandmama used to say, somebody lying. Sabrina asked Ace to confirm exactly what you told Vern, and she does. Ace says that she told Vern that it didn't come from a negative place. She told him that the ladies were just chopping it up, seeing who was voting for whom. Sabrina told her that Carmen is reaching out to everyone, trying to break up couples. That's what Ace called Vern to tell him. Tommy clarifies that the game is to find love, not to play high school games. Now it's time to move on to Demetrius. There were clips of all the ladies really digging him when he first arrived. Tina takes note of all the attention and assumes that he has player vibes. Joy insinuates that he's there to start some ish, and there's hot tub cuddles with Sabrina. Tommy jokes with Demetrius that they can go in on a battle when it comes to suits one-on-one. It brings some much-needed laughs to the stage. Demetrius gets a moment to explain himself that he's not a player. He's just confident and dresses well. It wasn't his fault if certain ladies liked him. Tina adds that they had several ladies talk about him, and it came off as if he might have been a player. She admits that she had her guard up and judged him too quickly. Tommy wants to know from Sabrina, what did she like about Demetrius when she first met him? She raves about his cool demeanor, his style, and he checked a lot of the things off of her list, which was only about 15 things. Unfortunately, their communication came to an end. Demetrius later communicated with her after the show taping to make sure there wasn't any chance of reconnecting. Sabrina confirmed to him that she thought they were better off as just friends. Demetrius then made sure to take time out for himself, and now he's dating. Sometimes in the love game, you choose yourself, and that's what Paul did. There's playback of connections with Precious, but certain vibes fizzled, telling her he goes for the jugular, and if someone can't handle it, that's their problem. Later in this season, Dakia gets kind words from Paul that she's a great pick. There's even a slight interest that develops as well. The crescendo is when Carmen spilled the tea at a cast lunch that Paul wasn't too fond of Dakia when it came to physical attraction. In the end, he chose himself. They really didn't get a chance to know one another. Also, that their connection wasn't too vivid. Tommy notes that his approach with Precious was harsh, and Paul agrees. Looking back at the footage, he says that he was a butthole. Precious expresses that she felt he was talking at her, when all she did throughout the entire process was defend him. The way he came at her was if he turned around so she could kiss his butt. As a friend, she felt that she was hurt. Paul takes a moment to apologize to Precious, and she respects his apology. She notes that she will work on accepting it. Tommy wants clarification on what Paul said exactly about Dakia. Did you say that you weren't physically attracted to her? Paul backpedals a little bit and says that I'm not saying that I said certain things, and certain things I might not have said were misinterpreted by Carmen, although Carmen is adamant that he did say those things to her. I didn't bring up the topic about a woman's body. That's something that a man would do. Paul tries to explain again about his verbiage, but no one believes the answers that he says because it doesn't make any sense. Dakia believes that Carmen was just upset that Paul said all those nice things to her instead. She also thinks that Carmen mentioned those so-called comments at the cast meetup just to ruffle her feathers. Tommy notes that he's seen Dakia on social media taking a trip with a so-called special someone, and Dakia confirms that she now has a boyfriend. It was someone always near to her the entire time. It's a shame she had to go through all of the show drama to realize it. Paul says that he is also dating someone special. Now it's time to shift to Tina. When she first arrived, the fellas liked what they saw, especially Paul. There's even a clip of her ex warning that Tina, when she gets upset, she has a habit of cutting you off. Clips of Tina being disconnected during dates and Tina not arriving to a couple's getaway trip. Even Tommy is stood up and shares Tina is no longer a part of the process. Tommy wants the scoop. Do you feel, Tina, that you bailed out on everyone? She felt that she was doing what was best for her. There weren't any connections. After a while, she felt like she was wasting her time. Paul did feel some type of way. She got into the process and didn't finish it. Tina pumps the brakes and tells Paul that he's a liar. He wanted her to self-eliminate so they could be together. Tommy is so shocked that he looks into the camera asking, "What the H is happening today?" Tina continues, "He told me that he wasn't really connecting with anyone. The real tea is that he told me and someone else on three-way he didn't want love at all. He came onto the show to get exposure for his up-and-coming book." Paul says that he has no idea what she's talking about and he's just a movie producer. Tina isn't done yet. She outs him for really being upset that Demetrius wanted to meet up with her and her ex, not just him. Tommy now wants to talk to Donovan, but Donovan says, no, I have nothing to add to this conversation. But Tommy clarifies that he just wants his feelings about the whole getaway trip and Tina not showing up. Donovan says that he reached out to Tina to see if she was okay and if she was going to later show up. The purpose of the trip was to rule out anyone they didn't have true connections with. When she didn't show up, he moved on. Tommy wants the real from Tina. Can you just rule out that you ghosted the process? You even ghosted me. It was kind of disrespectful. Tina doesn't deny her actions, but says that she did what was best for her. Tommy, do you want an apology? Tommy is so insulted that he does a slight uncomfortable laugh. Tommy tries to move on and wants her to know next time in any endeavor, please try to see things all the way through. And Tina says she receives that suggestion. We move on to Precious. When Precious arrives, she's very flirtatious, and Demetrius talks with her concerning her vibrance. What she gives off is perceived as a party girl, someone that's always in the club. The playback footage frustrates Precious even more. She says that she can't understand why people see her bubbly personality and assume that she's a party girl. She vents that Demetrius saying those things tampered her chances with the fellas. Demetrius says that the men as a collective agreed that there might not have been more depth to her when it came to getting to know her deeper. He only spoke about how he felt about her. Precious is very angry that they had one date and no phone conversations. Why is he coming to conclusions when he doesn't know her? Demetrius says that he will further explain himself, but he's not going back and forth. She has to listen. Precious says, "Oh no, we won't do that. You won't chastise me and talk at me." No matter what Tommy or Demetrius does to try to calm the situation, she's not having it. Demetrius even asked her if she's high. She's making a big deal out of nothing. She storms off the stage, insulted that he's questioning if she's high. She's done with the show and demands her things so she can leave. Backstage, the ladies try to calm her down, but she quickly leaves the set. Now it's time to focus on the possible connection between Dakia and Cliff. There's never before seen footage of the two flirting and going on more dates. There's even a few more sexual tension moments. Although after time, Cliff became even closer with Joy, and he made sure to communicate to Dakia that their journey in getting to know one another had come to an end, leading Dakia to tears. After the footage, Joy tries to hold in laughs, but then lets it loose completely in Dakia's face, complimenting the production on a quote, "good edit." Tommy wants to know if Dakia felt shocked at the connection between Joy and Cliff at the getaway. Dakia says she wasn't shocked, just disappointed. They had several dates and communicated a possibility of more. All Cliff had to do was tell her sooner before the trip. Joy chimes in, telling Takia that the connection was all in her mind. Everyone knew how strong their connection was. Yes, everyone has feelings, but Takia created something that only she saw. When someone told me you stated you're taking Cliff away from me, it was messed up. Takia tries to clarify that her words were taken out of context, but Joy tells her, F her context. Move on, there's nothing else needed. Joy adds the cherry on the top, singing, oh, he broke my heart, and you even cried. Cliff then asks, what else could have possibly been said? Takia once again mentioned that we were talking, and he at least owed me an explanation. Joy tells her once again, move on, bringing Takia to tears. Tommy wants to move on and wishes everyone well. Now it's time to discuss Wiley. Wiley had much of the ladies, but unfortunately the women weren't too pleased about his young age. Sabrina even says in never before seen footage that he's a baby. Wiley expressed to production that he can't stand that the women didn't even give him a chance. He's very mature for his age. He's even hurt that Keena emotionally checked out when she found out his age. She notes that she was just dating with intention and usually goes for older men. Wiley claps back and says that if she wasn't interested, why does she look at everything that he does on Instagram? He notices that she's always looking at his Instagram stories. Keenan makes it very known that she supports everyone and watches a lot of people's stories, but as soon as she gets to her phone, she'll make sure that that doesn't happen again. Wiley tells Tommy that he's at a point in his life where he's ready to start a new chapter in his life. He's ready for love and family. We find out that Tiffany and Wiley currently have amazing conversations and have even dated after filming. He notes that he had interest initially in Takia, but after a while wanted to explore things more with Tiffany. Now they're moving forward, getting to know one another even more. Tommy wishes them all the best. When it comes to Clifton and Joy, they had a connection from the jump. Their sweet dates kept the audience painted in smiles. There was even a hiccup of Cliff accidentally consuming coconut, which he's allergic to, but gladly he was fine. Their final day in choosing each other was a match made in perfection. Cliff says that he felt an automatic connection when he met her. After taping, they jumped right into a long-distance relationship. They had no problem greeting and talking, and also him going to Mexico to see her while on business nearly every other weekend. They had even discussed having a baby next March. They are truly in love. Joy is the most comfortable with Cliff and happy, and Joy is going to take a break from performing and wants to do whatever it takes to make more time. Cliff knows that she's the woman of his dreams, and with that being said, Cliff goes into his coat pocket, gets down on one knee, and asks, will she come home with him? It's a ring box with the key. Joy is very excited, bouncing in her chair, saying yes. Everyone claps it up, and Tommy takes a moment to go around the room for final thoughts. Donovan thanks Tommy for the process and that he's happy he met the love of his life. Takia admits the process was a lot, but she learned a lot about herself, and she's developed some great friendships and true connections when it comes to winning. Wiley agrees, and he's thankful for the experience. It's the end of the Ready to Love Potomac season, and Tommy thanks everyone for one heck of a ride. And now it is time for your favorite part of the video. That's right, my review. Can we all get a hand clap? We glad it's over. Can we all get a hand clap? We glad it's over. Woo! This season right here was stretched out. Do you hear me? It was stretched out almost as long as Game of Thrones. There was like 12 episodes. Tell me why we didn't need that many episodes. Man, I'm telling you, man, when you talk about wiped out, okay, and stretching it out for no reason. Oh my gosh. When he said it's a wrap, I'm pretty sure everybody went into the parking lot and just stripped all their clothes off and just got in the car and went home. I know they tired of seeing each other. So let me get this straight, y'all. Okay, so for those of you who have been rocking with me this entire season for all of the recaps and reviews for Ready to Love, let me tell you, thank you for rocking with me. I also gotta pat myself on the back because if you've been following me, you know that I have been 100% correct this entire season. This is why you need to subscribe to your girl. Make sure that you comment and you make sure that you let it be known that Official Bunny not only kept it family friendly and real, but at the same time, I always made sure to analyze what we see on the show, what we see, how it's edited and all that good stuff. Now look, I've said from the beginning, TV gon' TV. I've been saying it from the beginning. It's always important when reviewing any reality show that TV gon' TV, okay? They're gonna edit and chop and screw stuff in such a way to create interest, to create drama, and that's exactly what it did, okay? When it got to the point of things getting messy, to me, I've always said that what you exude on camera, we can only go off of what we see on camera. A lot of the times people want to go offset and start to dig into people's lives and people's friends. And I don't do that. Okay. I don't do that because I feel that this is a show. When people sign up for a production, it may be a positive experience or a negative experience. The wolf in sheep's clothing about television is they're going to say, this is what you signed up for, right? But it's not preparing you for the aftermaths of what happens. That is why I said the best thing that production can do is get the cast to sign NDAs. Those NDAs not only keep you protected, right? They not only keep you protected, it keeps you from getting a lot of the backlash from a lot of the fans that come with the territory. Now, you can't avoid fans saying stuff. You just can't. People are going to say stuff, but having those NDAs and putting you in situations to where you're describing a lot of the things that happen off camera, behind the scenes, it can get mixed, okay? It can get mixed, it can get muddy, and it can have a pretty bad aftermath on your personal life. I've said all the time that on my platform, I keep it as positive as possible. I keep it family friendly because these are human beings that still have to move on and live their lives. Now, a lot of people will say, I wouldn't act like that on camera, and we can only go off of what they edit, and they can only do, and give what you say. That's not true. Being somebody that is in this bubble of entertainment, first of all, TV gon' TV. Okay, they can take anything you say and chop and screw it. Now, you can't edit how somebody can act, emotionally, but a lot of the emotional things can be chopped and remixed and put in different episodes and scenes outside. It can be done. Keep that in mind. So when watching a show, keep in mind that it's a show. The only way we can really go in is if it's a fictitious character and it's like a drama, and we can go in on the character because it's a character. This character isn't real, but these are real people. So you have to keep in mind, just like I said a few seasons ago, right? There was a person by the name of Denise. I think it was the Houston cast, and she did some things that were outlandish, okay? And I made sure to say within my reviews for those episodes where she, was doing some things that was just like, girl, why you acting like that? I always made sure to say, this is not an attack on the person. We're discussing how you behaved, right? We're discussing certain things that you said that was just like, you didn't have to do that. Why are you making comments about that? Why did you do that, right? A good example, on the Ready to Love cast for, I think it was in Houston, right? Denise was all up on one guy. I forgot his name, and she got really possessive. There was even some point in time where she lied about cast member Joy saying something, and that wasn't the case. Okay, so a perfect example. You can talk about the moment at hand, but when it comes to going to somebody's social media, calling them crazy, all this other stuff, that's when it gets to, I'm not with that. I'm not with going in on someone who probably regretful, or maybe can't change the past on certain things that they've done. It just doesn't make any sense. There's a thin line between voicing your opinion about the show and just going off of the show, and then taking it to the extreme and going into somebody's personal life. I don't agree with that. Now, it's free to grab when it comes to anything, any platform, right? If people want to talk about it, that's fine. That is what reality does. That is when you take those moments as a vlogger, as a reality show reviewer, if you got your own website, you have every right to do that. But just keep in mind that these are people. These are people with real feelings, and it is a thin line when it comes to affecting someone's real life. The people have to go back to work, they have to take care of their kids, they have to go back to their family and their friends. There's more to just, oh, you agreed to this and it's a show, which is true. But you have to put on that human hat and say, hey, we can rave about the show and we can kiki. We can, oh, why they do that? And that was dumb. And why this person do that? But just keep it at that. Just keep it off. Keep it at, this is the show. And that's just my opinion. That's what I do. But enough about that, you guys. Let's get into this reunion special part 2. If you've been following me, everything that happened in this reunion special is not surprising. I said that it was probably highly likely that when the ladies were talking about Vern, right, and there was a voting lock between the fellas, that Vern, had to go, right? Regardless of who called who, as I mentioned in part 1, that the show probably told them to not call each other and do all of that, to just leave it in with the ladies' lounge. I'm pretty sure that they told them that, but they probably were on the phone like, girl, who you gonna vote for? I'm not voting for him. Let's just be real. Whoever called who, we all know that Vern was going home anyway. Okay, the only person that he was really connecting with was Ace. And when it came to Ace was kind of up in the air really about how she felt about Vern anyway. She was so comfortable with it that she called him like, hey, my dude, they about to vote you out. Okay, so let's just be real. When it comes to production, there was only so many people left. So of all the people left, I didn't understand why Paul was still there, and I didn't understand why Vern was still there. They should have been gone long time ago, because there really wasn't any deep-rooted connection with those fellas. So we can get that out of the way. It is what it is. When it comes to Demetrius and this precious situation, I said that it's highly likely, and I was right, that Precious was going to feel some type of way about Demetrius, also talking to the fellas about, hey, she might be a party girl, she might be this, she might be that. But as Demetrius said, I wasn't the only one who thought that. Guys, as I mentioned in the review before, guys have a different way of thinking with ladies when it comes to flirting, okay? It sucks. But as a woman, when you're around a lot of men, as I explained this, when you flirt with all of the dudes, the first thing the dude is going to say is, man, if I pick her, is she going to be flirting with all my homies? That's how men think. Okay, they're gonna say, dang, if I take her everyone, is she gonna be smacking everybody on the booty and flirting and saying how she like it and how she a freak and all this other stuff? From a male's perspective, I can guarantee you that's what they were saying in the men's lounge, and that's what they were saying off camera. Yes, it is a double standard when women do it. Okay, it is a double standard, but that's what happens when the fellas get together and they talk. Okay, I grew up around nothing but men. Okay, that's what they do. All right. That's what had happened. I'm sorry, Precious. You, as I mentioned before in the reviews, you're probably just a very bubbly person. And when you said social, you just meant somebody that likes to go out and trips and have fun and talk. We know that as women, we know what you meant, girl. But when it comes to men, honey, when you say that and you tell that to everybody, they're going to remix that in their brain as something else. It's unfortunate that you were voted off the show. I can understand that you were livid and frustrated that, no, that's not what happened. Because anytime anybody is in a situation and it's not the truth, or you don't agree with it, or it conflicts with how you feel, anybody could get upset. Okay. Anybody could sit there and argue, and you look back and you think, dang, I shouldn't have got that mad about it. Hey, it's not our situation. I'm pretty sure if we were in that situation, we would look back at it like, dang, why did I go off like that? She was probably just really upset about a lot of stuff. I'm not condoning the behavior. I'm not condoning going off and cussing at people. But hey, people get mad in different ways. Okay, people get upset in different ways. Some people can be cool, calm, and collected while you sitting there yelling in their face, and some people can't. Okay, it's TV. When it comes to Sabrina, okay, it was several moments of catching her being messy boots. I don't know her personally. I'm going off what goes onto the show. Every time there's a situation, Sabrina is always in the mix. Sabrina said this. Sabrina saying, I heard. Sabrina saying, I told this person. Sabrina saying, they told me. It's unfortunate, but it's facts. It makes you look a certain way, especially when it comes to editing, especially when a lot of the cast members are saying the same thing. Now, when it comes to Dakia, I said the same thing about her, that unfortunately the domino effect when it came to Takia is that She should have been voted off a while ago because there weren't that many fellas that were really connecting with her. While it was gone, Cliff was in to Joy. Okay, let's just break it down. After that, who else was it? Eric, in that situation, he was gone. So it was like after that, I bet production pushed for her to stay there because they're looking at numerically, we got to keep this show entertaining. And that's what they did, okay? It's entertaining and a lot of things. The show could have been over with in 6 episodes. Them stretching it out made it even worse and forcing connections that we know weren't there. Paul and Dakia at the last minute trying to make that work. It seemed awkward. They probably just wanted a certain amount of people on decision day for filming. These are facts. I've said this over and over again. It's been a wild one, you guys. Make sure that you stay tuned because I would want to put out a video with a whole bunch of receipts. I want to put out a video of when I got everything right in order, episode by episode, said everything that was going to happen, and it happened. And it happened the season before that, and it happened for the season before that. So each season I always get it right because I'm going off of what we see when it comes to production, what we see as a show. You can see who's not connecting. You can see and feel when production is stretching it for no reason. You can see that. So just stick with fluidity of reality shows and take reality shows as just that. Trust me, when you view it like that, shows become more entertaining. When you view it like that, you understand the behind the scenes so much better. And for those of you who have been listening to my reviews, know that it works 100% each and every time. Once again, final note, thank you so much for those of you who have been rocking with me this entire season and also supporters of the channel and subscribers to the channel. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at the same profile name, officialbunne_E, and check out Atlanta season 3 binge watch. Check out that amazing Emmy nominated and award-winning show. Absolutely amazing, you guys. If y'all are not watching Atlanta, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Stay tuned for Queen Sugar. That's coming. It's the final season. Inventing Anna, the Netflix original series, and so much more. It don't stop. And you guys know the motto of my channel. When one show ends, another one takes its place. In the meantime, in between time, remember to take care of yourself and each other. Bye.